Good morning, awakening ones.
Good morning.
The really nice thing about awakening is you start making discoveries. And a lot of the discoveries have to do with who you are not. And that makes room for discoveries of who you are. But in between, there can be a real challenge that occurs inside of you because of what you're encountering that you used to believe you were, and you still want to hang on to that belief, but it's starting to register in you that that's really not you. So, half the time you believe you're thinking, you're really listening. There was a time in my life when I believed that every thought I was thinking was my own thought. And needless to say, it drove me crazy. Because a lot of the thoughts that I was thinking were crazy thoughts. And what does that mean? I'm crazy. But do you actually enter into a state of acceptance of that? Of course not. You go into a state of denial. But at the same time, you still believe that you are the thoughts that you're thinking. See, a part of awakening also includes revving up your capacity to discern. To discern what really is going on and how much of it is originating with you. And how much of it you're just simply picking up on. All of this I forgot to mention, talking about thoughts. We associate ourselves with thoughts, and we believe that every thought we think comes from us. Well, your body, your brain, your mind, if you want to include it, is designed in such a way that you are an amazing transceiver. You have receptors that pick up on a number of things that you don't even really have to think about in order for it to occur. Obviously, because the majority of humanity lives unconsciously anyhow and believes everything that they're thinking and feeling. Okay, so if you look at it from the perspective of being able to receive as well as transmit, everybody has this capacity. So however many billions of us right now, we're all engaged in sending out and receiving thoughts. Now, awakening causes you to think a little deeper and consider how much of this that I'm experiencing actually is me? Is all this going on inside of my head originating in me? So your awakening process takes this into account where you then start saying, all right, I've got to really slim down here. It's like sitting at the chocolate bar and continuing to eat chocolate after you're full. After a while, you say, okay, I've had enough of this. I need to change my diet here. So you start wanting to change your diet and the thoughts that you think. You start wanting to have thoughts that make you feel good about you. Otherwise, what happens is you keep entertaining these thoughts that are coming to you from somewhere, and you start generating the feelings to match those thoughts. And if those thoughts are fearful thoughts, then you're going to start generating fearful energy. And if you do that, then it isn't going to be long before your behavior is going to start matching your thoughts and your feelings. And where are you going to wind up? Would somebody please come help me? I mean, that's a joke, but yet it isn't. Because we imprison ourselves when we consider that we are all the negative thoughts that we're thinking, and we then unconsciously match them with negative feelings. Now, who would benefit from our generating negative energy? Donald Trump? That came from somewhere else. Got to have a little humor in something as serious as this. Okay, Part of the awakening process also includes realizing that we live in a physical reality, but it isn't the only reality we live in. If these thoughts are existing, and we know that they are because we experience them, then there's also a thought world. There's also a feeling world. There's also other dimensional realities that are superimposed over the physical that are populated by beings. Part of your awakening causes you to come to the place of realizing there is more to life than meets the eye. Okay, so is there a possibility, just a possibility, that there are those who actually feed off of the negative energy that you generate? That's their food source, and you are unconsciously feeding them whenever you generate negative thoughts and feelings? Just a possibility. I'm not saying it's your reality, but then again, it could be your reality. And if you continue to go on in your awakening, you might discover that you don't want to include it as your reality anymore, and that then puts the responsibility on you as how you're going to change that. So one of the first things is making a discovery inside yourself. And that's why I was talking about discernment. Are these thoughts originating with me, or are they coming from an outside source, and I'm assuming they are me? Now, if they do originate in you, then my suggestion is pay attention to them. There's something there for you to discover and to perhaps heal from, so that you no longer have the need to entertain them, because you go to the source of them and find, all right, this was an imbalance in myself. I'm the one who can correct it. And if they don't originate in you, then you need to dismiss them. And in yourself, choose not to think them. Create a space that is an open space, and then fill that space with some kind of positivity. Use that as your point of focus. Use that as a stimulus for you to generate positive thoughts, and then back it up with positive feeling so that you get the impact of that resonating within your being. We're here on this planet, and a big deal with this planet is the game. This also is a part of your awakening. To realize that the game wants you to stay unconscious. It wants you to stay within a field of control and manipulation. Once you start waking up to that, then you say, all right, now I understand why other people had mentioned that they felt like a victim, and why I have felt like a victim. Because there is that victim mentality that is hand in hand with the game. Now, why do we cooperate with something like this? Because we're asleep at the wheel. We're not really paying attention to what's going on. We're unconsciously participating in the victim consciousness. Where it stands right now, a lot of people are not willing to let go of that. They want to stay hooked in and identified with it. So, consequently, any kind of conversation of this nature would be shut down and turned off, and they would turn away from it. So, just keep it in mind that negative thoughts and feelings keep us in the game. You want out of the game, then you need to recognize the game is up and running. You want to really not participate in the game, then you need to start filling yourself with positivity. Don't hook into the thoughts. Just because they come to you doesn't mean you've got to entertain them. Do not feed them with emotion. Take a walk. Instead of staying behind the wheel threatening to kill everybody because they're not driving the way you want to, pull over. Pull over. Get off onto some side street. Find a park. Take a walk. Get out into nature. Change your environment. Changing your environment does affect how you think and how you feel. You can also Get into music. It's a great equalizer. Find music that is uplifting you. Like your choice. Whatever is uplifting to you. Or get into a creative mode where you actually put your energies, your thoughts, and your feelings into creating something that you get immersed in to such a degree that you create those type of frequencies to rattle around inside your head, to start making new neural pathways and beat out the old ones. Or you can meditate. Now you see, that's the most challenging part of all. But imagine that you're selective in a meditation to where you use your imagination with your meditation to create something that you're able to then get into that will give you the results of making the transformation you wish to experience. Visualize yourself relaxing on a beautiful, peaceful bank by a fast-flowing river. Imagine it right now. You're relaxing on a beautiful bank by a fast-flowing river. See the green lushness of the trees and the grass. And feel the welcoming arms of the earth. Watch the river flow at a rapid rate and envision myriad fish going with the flow. Now see in your mind as the peaceful riverbank, the fast-flowing river, as the thought train flowing through your mind, and the little fishes as intrusive, non-beneficial thoughts. Practice detachment from the little fishes. Instead of having your line in the water, take your line out of the water. Detach from them. Do not hook into the little fishes. Do not feed them with your emotion. See, it's so easy. And if you stay with it, you become proficient. And when you become proficient, it builds up your confidence in your capacity to be the creative choice maker you truly are, so that you move away from being an unconscious thinker to being a selective, conscious, involved being awakening. Thank you very much.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.